What's up, Fishbox friends? How y'all doing today? It is currently Black Friday, so what is today? November 24th, and yesterday was Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all enjoyed that time. It's a beautiful Thanksgiving, had an opportunity to spend time with friends and fam, and that's what it's all about, right? Since it was so chill today, I decided to do something that I've been putting off for a long time, which was a Q&A. What I'm starting to realize is that within the comments, emails that I get, DMs, phone calls, even the consultations that we do here at Fishbox, I'm starting to see like a lot of the same questions being asked, which I think are great because that means that you guys really want to know about those things. So just to make life a little bit easier, since some of you guys are asking the same questions, I thought I would just take some time now to answer some of those questions that you guys have asked recently, and hopefully this will help somebody out. Before I get started, also know that I do offer one-on-one video consultations. If you have any questions that you've wanted to ask a mailbox store owner, or questions outside of the ones that I'm going to answer today to help you on your mailbox store journey, there's a link in the description. I do charge $100 for that, but that's just because it takes a significant amount of time to do it. It is an hour, and I do think it's valuable. So if you're interested and you're looking to invest in yourself in 2024, hit the link in the description. The biggest question that I probably get by far is, what pack and ship software do I use? And so we use a bunch of different software, but if somebody comes in and they want to ship something out from here, the number one piece of software that I use is Postalmate. I think they're great over there. They have a great team, very warm, customer service is great. And there's another service out there called Shipwright. I've never used it before. I'm sure the people that run that software are great people. It's just that I just had a great experience with Postalmate, and that's the one that I recommend. Another question that's being asked is, what payment processor do you use? How do you accept payments? So for me personally now, Fishbox, we use a software called Stripe. It's not necessary for you to use that software. For some of the exciting things that are coming later on this year, which I can't wait to share in a future Q&A, it's gonna depend on us using Stripe. So that's the reason why we use it now. But if you're a mailbox store owner or a local business and you want to look for something to accept recurring payments or be able to accept payments via cash or credit card, I think Square is also a great service. We also use Square here for like insurance. You can pay your taxes through Square. You can also do employee payroll through Square. So I really like Square for that. So we actually use Square and Stripe. How many employees do we have? So we have 3 employees. Well, there's 3 total. There's me, and you see Francisco, and you also see Jonathan working here. We had another one of my brothers, Nathaniel. He might come work later on, like next year and in the summertime. But right now it's just me and my 2 brothers. Kept it in the fam. I think it's just cool that way because, we all know each other. We're comfortable around each other. But eventually I do want to hire other people, as I want to spend less time in the office and more time doing other things. So as of right now, we only have 3, and I do look to hire somebody else at least part-time in 2024. Another big question that I get, I would say at least once a week, is why no traditional mailboxes? And the reason why I didn't go with the mailboxes initially is because I couldn't afford them, to be honest with you. When I first started my mailbox store, I had enough money just to be able to move in, and I was actually living in the back of the Fishbox store at that time. So I didn't have that much money to invest in anything that I thought wasn't absolutely necessary. And I felt that by just putting the packages on the shelves would have been better than investing in the mailboxes and trying to fill those things up, even when the packages didn't fit inside of there. And since I only had about 400 square feet at the last spot, I thought, you know what, let's not go with the mailboxes. Let's just put all the packages on the shelves. And if we have mail, then I'll get a filing cabinet, which I did have for a long time, and that worked perfectly fine. If you want to go the mailbox route, that's perfectly fine. I know some good people that have great stores that have mailboxes in their mailbox store. But for me personally, I just thought the mailboxes didn't make very much sense. But I am thinking that maybe in the future I may implement some of the mailboxes, because I do see the value for people that are just getting mail and just want to have a key and somewhere to get their mail delivered. Another big question I get is, am I franchising? Where are we expanding to next? That's a great question. As far as expansion, I only have one place in mind. And some of you guys that have been watching the channel for a while, you know exactly where that is, and that's in San Diego, California. I absolutely love it there. My dream would be to have one Fishbox in Philly, kind of as like the HQ home base, and then have another one in San Diego, California, where in the months like November, December, January, February, where it's cold in Philly, I could be working at the one in San Diego, and somebody could be here managing the Philadelphia office. Of course, I'll come back once a month or so just to make sure things are running smoothly. And then once it starts getting warmer here in Philly, then we'll switch. So whoever works here in the Philly one will have the option to go live, I don't know, in my house that I have out in San Diego and work at the office in San Diego for the spring and the summer months. And then we'll just keep alternating. But I just think that that'll be enough to keep things fresh, keep things interesting. I know how I am. I like change, and I like things to not be the same all the time. So having that other location in San Diego would be super exciting. And just to know that Fishbox is bi-coastal, I guess it's kind of an ego thing as well, but most of it is just because I absolutely love San Diego and I would love to do business out there. People ask about the future of the channel. So right now, we have about, last time I checked, 970 subscribers, which of course isn't that much. But as we start approaching 1,000 subscribers, YouTube offers you different things where you could monetize your channel if you have like a certain amount of views and a certain amount of watch time in addition to the 1,000 subscribers. So I do see this as being an additional stream of revenue. Not a significant amount. I don't see a day where Fishbox will have 1 million subscribers, which, I mean, who knows, maybe, but having a passionate 5,000, 10,000 subscribers that really want to learn how to build a mailbox store and are just interested in seeing how we document our journey here at Fishbox, I think that's good enough for me. If it brings in some extra change too, I think that's dope. But one thing the channel definitely has done is kind of introduce me to other people out there that are doing similar things that we're doing here at Fishbox. I never knew there was like a community of people where we're all kind of in this together. We have the same issues about stolen packages, things left outside, starting businesses in our neighborhood, startup costs, issues that we have with marketing, issues that we have with things like insurance and software, and being able to connect to the community and learn about all your guys' mailbox stores that you guys have out there, which many of you follow us on Instagram and I follow you guys back. Here's our Instagram, by the way. Give us a follow and we'll reach out to you and we'll follow you back. We're just really trying to make friends in the industry. And the channel has always been a way to kind of document the journey and just see how far I've come and just kind of a place to put all my thoughts and a place to be creative. I would love nothing more than 10 years from now to be able to watch some of the videos that I have and be like, oh wow, I remember when we were in the last space and we had the flood. Oh wow, I remember when we first moved to the new Fishbox store. I remember when we hired our first employee, or when my son started his first day and he would come and hang out with me in the store. Also seeing him grow, I look at some of the older videos and I see, wow, he's really gotten big right on camera. A lot of you guys have seen him. A lot of you guys sent very kind messages about my son, and I really appreciate that. So the future of that is just to kind of continue documenting this and putting more stuff out and connecting with you guys, the mailbox community. Another question that I've been getting a lot is, are you going to offer some type of online course? And I think that would be super dope, because I wish that I would have had that content when I was starting my mailbox store. There was nobody to kind of go to back then and watch their videos and watch their channel to learn what happens behind the scenes at a mailbox store. I would have loved to see that, but it just didn't exist. So I'm hoping that I could create some content around that. I'm not exactly sure like what that would look like, or if I want to do a whole course. If I had to just tell you what was on my mind now, one of the things that I'm really interested in and looking forward to is a course on marketing for a mailbox store. The piece that I think a lot of people are missing is that once you have your mailbox store, how you get customers and how often you get them is just as important as what the store looks like and the whole process of starting up. It might even be a little bit more important, because you could have the best store, but if nobody can find your store and nobody can find your business, you're not going to get customers, which means that you're not going to be in business for a while. So I do want to create some type of course around starting up a mailbox store, but I think the most interesting thing to me would be offering a marketing class and around SEO or search engine optimization, guerrilla marketing tactics, around digital marketing and taking out ads on sites like Google or Facebook or Nextdoor. So I definitely want to start some type of course to teach more things, but probably focus more on marketing right now. Another question I get a lot of is startup cost. What were my startup costs? And before I answer this question, just know that this isn't financial advice. I started my business in 2015, and the cost of eggs in 2015 and the cost of a house in 2015 were a lot different than they are now. So I started off with about 30 to 40K, somewhere in there. And again, I was living in the Fishbox store. I didn't have a vehicle, so I had no car payment. I had no rent payment for a house. All I had was my rent costs and of course my insurance and lighting and electric and heating and all the internet and all that for the store. So my startup costs were between 30 and 40K. And the first year I probably made around $10,000. So I'm losing a lot more money than I'm making for a very long time. But for some of you wondering how much I started out with, it was around 30 to 40K. I round it to the middle and say probably around 35K. I don't think that's enough nowadays to get you where you want to get to unless you have a partner. And then of course, if you're not hiring any employees and you're working by yourself. But so the number I had saved up was 35K. But you do with that information what you think is necessary. So some of you guys really like the store tour episodes that I put out, which I really like those. That was really one of the big ideas that I had last year that I really wanted to implement, and I'm glad that I did. So a lot of you are asking, since I do the store tours now, when can I visit your store? When can I do a tour of your store? And I would absolutely love that. I'm not going to be doing a lot of traveling from now and probably until the end of the year. Definitely not until February. So if you have a store that's within, I don't know, driving distance of Philadelphia, whether it's in Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Baltimore, Maryland, something like that, I definitely will be open to it. So leave a link to your mailbox store down in the comments, and maybe I'll pick yours next. So another question I get is, in addition to the packages, do we receive mail? And the answer to that is yes. I would say 98 to 99% of what we receive here is packages, because that's what people know us for. That's the biggest issue in Philly right now. But there is a whole segment of people that are starting to get just mail. There are people that have started their business and just need a place to get their business registered. There's people that just need a safe place to get their mail delivered because the post office isn't doing a good enough job. So I would say that number is probably about 1 or 2% of the pieces that we get our mail right now. But that segment is growing, and I wouldn't be surprised if this time next year is closer to 5%. So we do have customers that use us just for mail, and we do have customers that use us for mail and packages. So people also want to know is, when's the fish box store tour gonna happen? And I think it should have happened already. I wish it would have, but there's been so many things going on that I just haven't had the time to get the downstairs the way that I really want to get it. I'm still like not 100% sure. I want to start a podcast next year. I want to have more of a section to create more and have like a studio down there. I want to build some stuff down there and patch up some holes down there. So I'm not quite ready yet, but I can definitely say the store tour for Fishbox is coming in 2024. I started my business in 2015, and there weren't very many people talking about mailbox stores, at least not trying to start them the way that I was starting them back then. And now I feel like there's a lot more people doing that, which there should be. So naturally, people ask the question, am I too late? Is now still a good time to start a mailbox store? And the answer to that question is absolutely, positively yes. This industry is just exploding right now. I wouldn't be surprised if a mailbox store is just as common on every other block in any city as a convenience store is. There is no shortage of people that are ordering things online. I'm sure you may be one of those people just like me that now I do all of my holiday shopping completely online. So absolutely, I do think it's a great time to start this type of business. As an entrepreneur and business owner, I think you have a lot of leverage when it comes to negotiating commercial space right now. A lot of people are a little more conservative with their money right now, and I understand so, considering what the economic conditions are right now in the US. So a lot of people are kind of holding things back, just waiting for the right time. So if you can find a really good spot and you can negotiate a great term, which I think now is a great time to do so, I think that you'll find 2, 3, 4 years from now that now is a great time to make the move forward. Another thing that I want to talk about is some of the mistakes that I'm seeing people make, or at least they're about to make when they're starting their mailbox store journey, when they want to create one. What I'm realizing from a lot of people is that your taste in the space that you want and what you want your business to be is like all the way up here, but the barrier of entry to get in this type of space is closer to down here. And what I mean by that is, many people, when I ask them if they start doing consultations, the 1-hour video consultations, during those, I ask them, have you found a space yet? And tell me about it. And they'll say, yeah, I found a perfect space. It's right downtown. It's 8,000 square feet and it's $20,000 a month. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, that sounds great, and I would love to be able to move my business into a space like that. That is absolutely not necessary for you to get started. Let's say you did figure out a way to get a commercial loan or some type of grant or something like that to be able to move into that space, and it costs, let's say, $10,000 a month. You're paying $120,000 a year just to be able to use that space, and none of that is going towards marketing, none of that is going towards insurance, none of that is going towards your food or anything like that. Shelves, internet, computers, none of that. It's just strictly towards rent. My recommendation would be to put all those to the side. Of course, eventually you're going to want to move into 10,000 square feet, but we just came from roughly 400 square feet, and we were there for 7 years. We just now outgrew that spot. I would say get something a little bit more modest, 400 to 500 square feet, maybe as far as up to 800 square feet, maybe 1,000 square feet, but you do not need that much space when you're first getting started. This is going to be a slow grind. Remember, for the first year that I got started, we made about 10K. The second year, we made about 40K. And of course, if you get more customers and you're doing more business, then you can either renegotiate your lease and move to a bigger spot, or you can open up another spot somewhere else. But don't make you want to make your runway as long as it possibly can be, and the way that you do that is by being extremely conservative when you're first starting. Don't feel that you have to have all the same stuff that the Apple Store has. Don't feel that your sign has to have the perfect font and it has to cost $1,500. You should save as much money as you possibly can. If you're going out to get coffee every day at your mailbox store, buy a coffee maker. There's no reason why you have to have so much space and so many things right away. You can grow into your mailbox store, because the number one reason why you're going to fail isn't because nobody wants to use your mailbox store. It's because you're going to run out of money because you're not getting enough customers quickly enough. So just keep that in mind. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Let me know in the comments if there's any more questions that you guys had that you want me to answer. Let me know if there's something like this you want me to do monthly, quarterly. I can definitely do these more often if you guys are interested in it. If there's a question that I didn't answer that you want me to answer, hit me down in the comment section. If you want to schedule a one-on-one consultation, a video consultation for an hour, link is in the description for that. In the meantime, y'all enjoy the holiday season, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.